Dude, the Flyers suck. It's been so long that I've like made a video, like, because I know haven't been here the past couple of days with the whole new reset of the studio, but just they're bad. They are bad. And the past couple of games has basically just been Claude Giroux being Claude Giroux and trying to carry this damn team to wherever at this point. But like I'm the biggest Flyers fan out there, one of them, and like these games are just so irrelevant. And the more I say that they're irrelevant, the more I tell myself, why the hell am I recapping these games? And then I guess there's a voice inside my head that continues to tell me that you like pain and misery, so you're going to watch the Philadelphia Flyers every single goddamn night, no matter what. I guess it's just one of those instances. And yeah, it's one of those instances where I am watching this goddamn team for some reason. I have no idea why, and they lose to the New Jersey Devils in the second game of this 4-game stretch to wrap up the season. And yeah, it was definitely very ugly. Even though, yeah, the game on Sunday was also ugly. Claude Giroux did his thing late in the game, and they managed to win that game in a shootout. But today was just ugly. Oh my god. And it's just one of those same things. Flyers off to a bad start, as usual. And then they find their way to crawl back into this game. They do tie it, but then once again, it's the typical Flyers fashion to where they find a way to score a goal, then they allow the team to respond immediately right after it. And that's what happened in that third period. Flyers found a way to tie it. They did. But the Devils immediately respond. And Brian Elliott, after the game on Sunday, he did play really good on Sunday. Today, he just, God. And this is what's going to happen when you're consistently overusing Brian Elliott. When Brian Elliott when he plays a game after having a couple of days off, he's going to look good. He's going to look like a quality backup in this league. But then when you overuse him, like the Flyers have been doing in these past few games, and due to partially because of Carter Hart not being in the lineup because of his knee injury, when you're overusing Brian Elliott, when he's playing more games than he should, these are the type of performances that you're going to get from him. He's an older goaltender, his body's more fragile, and when you overuse him, this is the type of result you're going to get. So I wouldn't be surprised if Brian Elliott's not going to start maybe the next few games. Maybe he just doesn't start the Thursday game in New Jersey. Most likely you would see Alex Lyon most probably getting the start. Or hell, maybe the Flyers give Felix Sandstrom a try. You just never know. And you're getting into that point in the season where it's still so irrelevant. And I think the Flyers, Thursday, if the Islanders and the Bruins win, I think that officially means the Flyers are mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, even though basically they've been eliminated for a while. But they're mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, so there's your point. So I wouldn't be surprised if Lyon gets a start here and there, and then Elliott gets more rest. Maybe the Flyers do eventually give Sandstrom a try since he is on the taxi squad. Got Zamula getting his first NHL appearance today on the blue line. I think he looked fine. Even though he definitely wasn't very flashy, but I didn't notice anything terrible in this game, didn't make any mistakes. He showed some confidence out there, definitely wasn't afraid to shoot the puck onto the net, definitely wasn't afraid to throw the body, so there's some promise there with Igor Zamula. So definitely this is the point in the season where guys are fighting for their jobs for next season, and these younger guys that are getting called up from the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, they're just going to showcase what they have and try to fight for a roster spot next season. That's where you're seeing guys like Wade Allison, who has been looking really good since being called up. Guys like Cates has been, honestly, since the Flyers signed him from college, he's looked pretty decent on that fourth line. And I think he got his first point tonight as well on the Oscar Lindblom goal. So yeah, Jackson Cates has been looking really good, honestly, on the fourth line. So he's definitely fighting for a spot on the roster next season. So, and then you also got Cam York down there playing for the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. So I'm not sure if they're going to call him up at all to end off the season. I think they just want him to get more minutes down in the AHL, have him just develop more. And Cam York is most likely going to be fighting for a roster spot next season. So yeah, this is basically where you're at in this point for the season. Younger guys getting their chances, guys fighting for their jobs. And yeah, basically these games are irrelevant, but some games you got to focus on the younger guys. And that's mainly what I've been doing with these games. I'm more focused on those guys like Allison, those guys like Cates, guys like Zamula. It's just that, and I hate saying it too, these games are definitely so irrelevant because they're not in a playoff push. they are not a good team, and there's going to be a lot of things that they have to do in the offseason to fix everything. And if you look at this game in general, they get off to a bad start. The Devils, they control a lot of the pace. The Flyers got a 4-minute power play at the beginning of the game, and they looked awful. And the Devils are they're going to have a historically bad penalty kill this year, and the Flyers couldn't score on a double minor. That's how bad they are. And that gave the Devils momentum. They eventually score closer towards the end of this first period going into the intermission. It's Nico Hischier on the power play. Go figure for the Devils. And he makes it 1-0. Then Devils go right back to the power play at the start of the second period. You got Pavel Zacha getting a goal. Then you got Wood getting a goal not too long after, making it 3-0 Devils. And this was like a weird span of like so many goals in like under so many minutes. You got the Zacha goal. You got Wood's goal. And you got Oscar Lindblom scoring not too long after that. That's where Jackson Cates gets his first NHL point, so congratulations to him. And like it's one of those other games where the Flyers have that bad start, and they find their way to crawl back into this damn game. Like, basically the summary of the entire goddamn decade of this team. The entire stretch of mediocrity that this team has been on. Bad starts, having to crawl your way back into the game, but third period, they got off, and they tied the game early. They definitely did. Phil Myers gets his first of the season. Flyers win a puck battle. Puck ends up on Myers' stick, puts it behind Blackwood, makes it a 3-2 game. Not too long after, Claude Giroux buries the garbage, and he ties the game at 3, but then right off the face-off for the Devils, goes into the Flyers zone. Brian Elliott gets caught behind the net with the Devils' forecheck, and you got Carrick making it a 4-3 Devils lead. But then halfway through the period, you got Sean Couturier tying it. But then actually the Carrick goal was not right after Giroux's goal. It was like a couple of minutes after Giroux's goal. The next goal, which made it 5-4 Devils, was like directly right after the Couturier goal. This was the goal where Brian Elliott got lost behind the net, and it was Sharon Govich putting in the garbage into the empty net, making it a 5-4 Devils lead. And then the Devils finished off the game with an empty netter, Maltsev making it 6-4, and Carrick getting his first goal of the season, which is the bread and butter of the Philadelphia Flyers organization, allowing players to get their first goals of the season or first goals of their NHL career. Even though it's not Carrick's first NHL goal, it's just his first goal of the season. So, yeah. Definition of the Flyers in that standpoint. If you look at the other stats from this game, Flyers actually led in shots, 32-27. Brian Elliott, not good tonight. Definitely not good at all. Allows I think he saves a 21 out of 27. Flyers actually won the faceoff percentage. Devils go 2 for 2 on the power play. Flyers go 0 for 2. I think the double minor was their only power plays of the game for the Flyers, and yeah, go figure, they couldn't score against the worst penalty kill in the goddamn league, one of the historically worst penalty kills of all time in the NHL right now. Hey, it's Philadelphia Flyers for you. And Devils out hit the Flyers. They outblock the Flyers. Giveaways basically even. Takeaways basically even. It's the Flyers. It's the Flyers at this standpoint, and we're just waiting for this season to end. And if we look at the rest of the schedule, I'm going to keep bringing up the schedule. It's not that far from over. I think the Flyers have, 7 games left in the season. 3 more against the Devils, 2 against the Penguins, and 2 against Washington. And that third game against the Devils is the final game to wrap up the regular season. So we're almost there. We are almost there. Almost done with this Flyer season. And I can't wait for it. I absolutely cannot wait for it to not watch this team for an entire offseason. So I can just enjoy the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's gotten to that point. It really has. And if we look at the standings for the Eastern Division, the Flyers are in 5th place. They have 51 points, 22, 20, and 7 on the season. Still with that horrible goal differential, minus 37. Jesus. Oh, boy. And it's funny, too. I think the Flyers, if they are in the Western Division, they'd be in 4th place. That also proves how bad the bottom part of the Western Division is, because that division is very top-heavy with their top 3 teams, because Vegas is just unbelievable this season. They have been fantastic, and they're a team that can really push for the Stanley Cup this year. Then you also got Colorado, got Minnesota, but then basically the other teams below them, St. Louis, they've been basically up and down this year, and they're fighting for that 4th spot. Most likely they will take it, but if the Flyers were in that division, they would probably be in 4th place right now and fighting for that last playoff spot. That's just funny to think about. And if we look at the rest of the division, and you got Capitals, they're in first place, 68 points. Pittsburgh, they're in second place with 67. It's funny how much we talked about Pittsburgh maybe being that team that finally misses the playoffs, and they're looking on the team that's going on the back spiral of their, I guess, years. And they've actually had a major bounce back year, and they're fighting for first place right now. So yeah, Pittsburgh's still definitely trying to prove that they can win another Stanley Cup before, Crosby and Malkin, their end of their careers, come to a close. But yeah, they're still fighting for it. And like I said, never count out a team with Crosby and Malkin. Never. Islanders, they're in third place, 63 points. Boston, they've been on a major tear as of late. They're at 62. And the Rangers, they're still fighting for that final playoff spot with 58 points in fifth place. Look around the league. Canadian division, Toronto, they've been spectacular this season. They got 65 points in first place. Edmonton, they got 58 in second. Connor McDavid's unbelievable. He's pushing for 100 points in a 56-game season. Connor McDavid is Connor McDavid at this point. And what, I think he's only 24 years old, and he's going to get to 1,000 points pretty soon. I think he's almost at 600 the last time I saw. So yeah, Connor McDavid is just unreal. I think he's like 80-something points so far, and yeah, he's definitely going to have he's going to reach 1,000 really soon. Really, really soon. You got Winnipeg in third place with 57, Montreal in fourth place with 51. So that's basically, I would say that's what the playoff setup is going to look like in the North Division. And the Western Division, top heavy, like I said, Vegas in first place with 70. They might win the President's Trophy this year. Colorado, second place with 66. Minnesota, third place with 65. All of those teams have clinched a playoff spot in the Western Division. And then you got St. Louis and Arizona fighting it for fourth place. St. Louis has 48. Arizona has 47. And both of those teams have been very up and down for this season. Arizona, they're on a very bad stretch, and St. Louis, they're on a very mediocre stretch in their last 10 games. The Central Division, top heavy as well. All three of those teams have clinched a playoff spot. Carolina in first with 71. Florida in second with 69. Tampa Bay in third with 68. All of those teams have been spectacular this year. And then fourth place, it's a fight between Nashville and Dallas. And personally, I think Dallas is going to end up with that fourth place spot just because I overall think they are the better team than the Nashville Predators. And Dallas does have games in hand, and they're only 2 points behind them. So that benefits their situation. So also, before I end off this video, I want to talk about Claude Giroux. So Sunday, he passed Brian Propp for third all-time in points in Flyers history. So that's a very huge milestone for him. I think that's 850. He's around like 851, 852 right now. So it's a really good total for Claude Giroux. And if I actually want to go look at his other stats for this season, just to look at his total for his career, because I know it's around the 850, but I cannot. I just want to make sure that I am right. So if I go to Claude Giroux, look at his stats, if it shows me. And yes, so Claude Giroux right now for his career, he has 851 points in 936 games played. He is third all-time in Flyers history, or the Flyers leaderboard in points. And I think he's only like another 30 points or so, a little over 30, from passing Bill Barber for second all-time in Flyers points. So yeah, Claude Giroux is definitely going to be passing Bill Barber. But Bobby Clarke, I don't expect it to happen because Claude Giroux right now is at 33. He's going to be turning 34 pretty soon. And he's going to have a lot of seasons in a row with like at least 60-point production. And at his age, even though he only has 36 points this year, but like I said, he's going to need a lot more seasons of that type of top first-line production, at least 60, 70 points per year if he wants to catch Bobby Clarke. I do think Claude Giroux is eventually going to get to that 1,000-point plateau, but I don't think he's going to catch Bobby Clarke. I don't think there is a player right now in the Flyers that is going to catch Bobby Clarke. I just personally don't see that happening as a possibility. The only person, well, not person right now, the only time a Flyers player is going to surpass Bobby Clarke is if the Flyers get a generational talent and they are a star right out of the gate. Offensively, they're scoring at least 80, 90, maybe touching 100 points consistently every year. That's the only type of guy that's going to reach Bobby Clarke and pass him in all-time points. But Claude Giroux, he's making a good case for himself to be at least second place in Flyers history, and that's still a perfect spot for him. It's still like, it showcases like how, I guess, underrated he is in Philadelphia, and that's a whole nother topic for itself on how underappreciated Claude Giroux is. A lot of people, there's so many Giroux haters out there, I just don't understand it. They're thinking that Claude Giroux is the sole responsibility on why the Flyers haven't won a Stanley Cup in the past decade, where for some reason they don't blame management for not putting a proper team around him, not finding an actual goaltender, signing Ilya Bryzgalov to that outrageous contract, bringing in all these guys like Brandon Manning, Chris Vandevelde. It's not Claude Giroux's fault. The team failed to build around him. And last year was definitely one of those best opportunities for them to win a Stanley Cup with Claude Giroux, but the bubble happened, and And this offseason, the Flyers are going to have to make some major decisions with the roster if they want to win the Stanley Cup, because I know this front office is in quote-unquote win mode. They're in win-now mode. And this year has been a major failure. And this offseason, they're going to have to make some major changes. And Claude Giroux's contract is going to come up after next season. So you're either going to have to push for the Stanley Cup next year, or you're going... I want Claude Giroux to win a Stanley Cup with the Philadelphia Flyers, and I want him to win it badly. So, and he definitely said, of course he's going to say he wants to stay a Flyer for the rest of his career, but he needs to win a cup. He definitely needs to win a cup, because I do think he's eventually going to get to that 1,000-point range, but he's never going to get shown as one of those top Philadelphia athletes just because he's so underappreciated, because he's just been surrounded by so much mediocrity with his franchise. It's just unreal at this point. It really is, and I feel bad for him. I feel really bad for Claude Giroux, because this franchise just hasn't built properly around him. And like I said, I can get into that topic for a whole video in itself as well, to show how underappreciated Claude Giroux is. But I'm not going to go any farther because this video would be way too long. So I'm going to end it there. What are your thoughts on this video, everyone? What are your thoughts on the Flyers? And you're basically just praying for the season to be over at this point. So don't forget to leave your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to drop a like on this video. Don't forget to check out the Panel Lines, which I'm a part of. Don't forget to check out the links to Flyer to Podcast merchandise website and the link to Flyers Nitty Gritty. They'll both be in the description below as well. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, everyone. And I will see you next time.